A wide grin crept across my face as I sloughed out the powder into the base of one of the spheres. The next steps, though more complicated, were considerably less dangerous. I needed powdered flare brush root in order to duplicate the combustion from the firebrand's fireball spell, and I had a considerable amount on hand. I ground it down quickly in my mortar and poured it out onto an awaiting sheet of paper. Next, I needed foxfen essence. It was the catalyst to allowing the elemental enchantment to take hold. That was in relatively short supply, but I had some lying about that had been collected for me by Eberand. It was a purple gelatinous mass that flowed freely inside the glass jar, almost as though it had a mind of its own. I clenched my fist and said a quick enchantment that I had learned when I was granted my alchemist subclass. Velorum diem enclaste, I said, my Russian accent making the language sound corrupt and broken. Hearing High Latin from my own lips was weird, since I had never known or spoken it on Earth. It felt familiar, and the words all fit, but it was like the memories were implanted. They weren't my own. It didn't matter, though, because the enchantment took hold, imparting a near-invisible glow to my hands. It was a warding enchantment that allowed an alchemist to handle dangerous elemental items, especially those in flux between spaces, without suffering any physical harm. Buff added. Alchemist's Prayer. As an alchemist, one tends to come across many things that may or may not cause direct harm to the body. It never hurts to be cautious. Improves resistance to poison, acidic, necrotic, and burning damage by 15%. Duration, 3 minutes. Increases resistance to being poisoned by 50%. Duration, 3 minutes. I unscrewed the cap of the jar carefully, making sure not to startle the fragile essence inside, and reached my thumb and forefinger within, pulling a small fragment of the essence out of the container. I quickly sealed the jar again and delicately rolled the essence between my fingers, making it into a sphere. I had mere seconds before it would essentially wink out of existence, so I placed it within the ash and made a series of quick, elegant gestures. The foxfen essence appeared to melt into a liquid and fuse with the ash. The next step needed to be perfect, or I could suffer an explosion.